that you went to the Denver school. So how did that happen? I mean, did you start coaching at Boulder and then you got offered Denver, or how did that?
Well, I started coaching right away. I was probably, because remember, there wasn't a lot of guys. And so, like, I was part of that original group, I guess, of people that came up. And so as soon as we made the decision that we wanted to expand the school, he needed coaches, and plus he traveled a lot still. I mean, Amal was still competing himself and traveling and training, and stuff. So Amal was always in and out, and Jay would take over, and, he couldn't do everything all the time. So he needed other coaches. And so I took the Saturday morning class. I was a Saturday morning coach for like ever. It was terrible because I worked Friday nights.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Saturday nights till 2 a.m. in a bar and then turning around and teaching class in the morning.
My men would be like, all right, suckers, don't piss me off. This is the move. But yeah, so like that's actually a funny story too, because I had just graduated college. This was 2004. And I had just graduated college, and I got my first job in IT that lasted 9 months. That's as long as I ever worked in the industry, 9 months for level 3 communications in Boulder as a security analyst there. And I'm so glad. It was brutally terrible job. I'm not cut out for corporate environment, man, for sure. I was sitting in the computer lab, and Amal calls me up, and he's like, hey, I'm thinking about opening up another school, or I'm opening up another school. I want you to run it. Now, I don't know how many people they asked before me. I would imagine a lot, and they'll turn them down. But the thing is, like going back to the beginning, I mean, like, I want to have a gym, like
Right.
This is what I want to do with my life someday. And I thought that this was a good opportunity to learn the biz, and do it, and so like he calls me up and he's like, yeah, I want you to run it. And I just got this job. Like, I mean, I'm not like, I'm just like, this is like 9 months in and making a lot of money. Like, we're set. I'm set up for life. That my life is complete now. Like, cause I'm with Sarah at this point. We actually, I think we were still renting a house, but like Sarah was a guidance counselor in high school for 10 years. So she's tenured and she's making bank, as a tenured high school guidance counselor. And like, I'm making bank, and we're like, our life is going to be good. Right. We're set. And, Amal calls me up and he's like, yeah, I want you to run the gym. And he's like, how much are you making over there? And I told him, I don't remember how many thousands a month I'm making, and he's like, yeah, well, I can't pay you that. And I'm like, well, hold up, because I'm clearly not happy at this place. So I'm like, well, hold up. What are we talking about here? He's like, well, this is what he said. He said, go home, add up all your bills, add like $300 to it. And that's what I pay you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to talk to Sarah about this, but then I hung up and, I called Sarah right up, and I was like, this is what he offered. And she was like, Jesus. And I was like, well, before we say no, we've been talking about this for a long time, that we want to have a gym someday. And if we really want to do that, this is it. This is the step. This is where it happens. If we don't take this step, it's probably never going to happen. This is the deciding factor right here. This is the life decision. And she was like, and she was like, we talked a little bit about money and stuff like that, and realized, yeah, we're going to be okay. And she's like, all right, let's do it, which is incredible. So I called them all back like 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And he was like, really? Excuse me. And and that was it. That was all it was. I mean, it was that. Like, he called me up out of the blue, just asked a wild fucking question, and like, I took the wild freaking chance, and that was it. I told him he had to wait 2 weeks. I said, because I said I don't want to just bail on these people. So like, I hung up the phone, went right in the office, said I'm leaving. This is my 2 weeks, and they said okay, and that was it.
Bye.
That was, I mean, obviously I'm still training at night, and like, I think I might have still been teaching. I don't even remember, but like, and then we just got that Denver gym going, and like, we had no fucking idea what we were doing. And like, we thought we knew what we were doing back then, and like, I felt really good about it. But like, looking back now, it's like, man, like, again, everything is the Wild West. It's crazy. You know,
And